Hello everyone and welcome to this new video. So in the last time we created a VM using Terraform on Proxmox. So in this video we're going to continue to set up our Kubernetes cluster. Before we do that, note that you can create multiple VMs. For example, if I come here to this resource and then just do account and do the whole thing 3 times, for example. For the VM name, just do a dash and then count.index, and I'm gonna add +1. Okay, so, and also for the outputs, so we could come here, Ubuntu VM, this one should be 0, or VM1, IPv4. I can also do the whole output 3 times. And also we need to export the variables that we had discussed last time. So if I do set-a source.env and then set +a, and then let's do a TA. Let's go back to Proxmox UI, and as you can see we have 3 VMs being created. Note that they are using the same cloud init, so all the config will be the same. This is, for example, the test element 2. We're gonna use the username and the password. We have 3 different VMs where we can do a Kubernetes cluster. So this is a way to do it. What I will do is I will go to, okay, let me destroy this. I will go to the previous project that I was working on, and this one includes a lot of things, so I'm gonna walk you through them one by one. So for example, I need first to introduce the tools that I used. For example, I have used MinIO. This is to install and prepare MinIO client. I will share this with you in my GitHub, so you can access this. This is the MinIO README where you have to download and install MinIO and create a Terraform bucket to store the state, the S3 state. And there is also this Vault file where I have installed Vault and set it up step by step. Here's the UIs for each one of those. So if I go, for example, to MinIO console and I log in with my username and password, no, not here. Yes, here I have the state, which is basically the state of the resources that I have, the state file. And if I go also to Vault, you will see that I have my secrets stored. So here are all my secrets, for example, the Proxmox credentials. If I click here on secrets, you will see, for example, the PVE endpoint. And I use this to store my secrets. There is also, so I have included much more variables, including VM tags, VMs list, Vault address, stuff like that. I have also added TF vars to have like each VM ID and the correspondent VM name. There is also the bridge, the memory, the CPU, the cores. I have also added the secrets. This is basically the data resource to get the PVE credentials. This is a script that just push on Git. This is the provider Vault and Proxmox and also AWS to store the S3 backend. I have also added outputs, including VM ID and IP address. The main.tf is a bit different because, for example, I'm storing the Ansible inventory in MinIO. I'm storing both the DNS records and the inventory. I have also a backend. This is the S3 backend and the required providers. I have also a GitLab CI file. It will basically use my runner to run these steps, including the init, plan, and apply infrastructure. And these are the templates, for example, a DNS template, the inventory template, and the cloud init template. And this is the SSH key. So I'm gonna continue from here. This will basically do the same thing as I did with the Proxmox Terraform, but more cleaner. Don't worry, I will provide all of this in GitHub. There is a link in the description, so feel free to browse this and take whatever you want. So to start the pipeline, I'm gonna use the pusher to push my changes to Git, latest changes. So this will basically do a push on my local GitLab instance, and it will also trigger a pipeline. Let me go here, let me sign in and see what is happening. So here, as you can see, the pipeline is running. So I'll just see what's happening. Actually, while waiting for the pipeline, let me show you something else. So if I go to config Ansible, which is a new directory that will use Ansible to bootstrap my cluster, I have this script file which will basically fetch the both the inventory and the hosts file, and I have multiple roles and this playbook to basically install and configure the firewall, common tasks for K8s nodes, install and configure Kubernetes, and configure the cluster. And there is also installing Helm and a lot of other dependencies in this playbook. I have multiple roles, as you saw, and there is also these kube manifests that I will use to deploy on the cluster. Actually, I'm not going to run this Ansible. I will use something else, something much more simpler than configuring a Kubernetes cluster with KubeADM. We will actually use Rancher. Open a new tab and look for install Rancher Docker container. So we're gonna install Rancher on a Docker container. Let's go to the official docs. Let me accept the cookies. I love cookies. So I'm gonna use this, and I will also attach a volume to it so I don't lose my data. I will paste this command here, and I'll also add var lib rancher. So this is on my host and this is on the container. Let's run this. What's happening here, I don't know. So rancher/rancher latest. Yes, so I don't know why the command just ran the first part, but it's okay. Let's wait for the image pull, and in the meantime, let's check our pipeline. So our pipeline is still running. Let's see what is happening. So yeah, job succeeded. And we have our VMs here. So yeah, now we have Rancher running. If I do Docker PS, we have Rancher running on port 80. So I'm gonna do localhost and then port 80. This is my local machine. So here we have Rancher. I'm gonna copy this, click to copy. Let's do Docker PS, and it's 81. So let's put the container ID 81, and this is the bootstrap password. I'm gonna copy that, come back here, and paste. Login with local user. So here it's welcoming to Rancher, and I have to set a password. And the server. So I'll use this IP, but that. And I accept the license. From here we get the dashboard view. So I'll go to create. And we're not gonna use any providers. We're gonna click on custom. The cluster name, we're gonna call it, let's just call it like this, K8s cluster or Kubernetes cluster on top of Proxmox. So these are the basics. Let's keep the Kubernetes version to latest. Let's keep it default. I'd like to use Flannel. Security, we do not care about that. Member roles, cluster owner, add-on Flannel, I'll keep the defaults. Additional manifests, no. TCD. No fleet agent. No, I guess. Labels and annotations. No. I'll keep the defaults for most of this. The registries, the upgrade strategy, the advanced tab. Yes, I'll keep everything to defaults. And I'm gonna click on create. This will not create a cluster unless I register the nodes. So here's the registration command. We're gonna click on insecure here. And the first one will be control plane, and an etcd. I'll have it also as a worker. So I'll go to the first node. This is the first one, and I'm gonna click on this command. So I'm gonna paste it, copy, paste. Let's go to copy the first master. So yeah, successfully download the certificates and setting up the stuff. Yes, and let's join the other two workers. So you just unselect these two and copy this and go to the second two workers and paste the commands. This is the other command. And for the third worker, yes, I'll just need to paste the command. Let's go ahead and close this and also this. Let's keep just the master and the UI. So in the UI, if I go to clusters, and let's wait for this to finish. After a few minutes, our cluster is ready. So let's go ahead and click explore. We can see a lot of information about our cluster. And to connect to it, I'm gonna do cat /etc rancher and then rk2 and then the YAML file. Let's do a sudo. Copy this. Or I think in the rancher UI you can just do kubeconfig. Yeah, download kubeconfig. Okay, let's click on this. Actually, let me go ahead and download kubectl here as well. So install package. Why is this open? And let me look for kubectl. Yeah. You download it. Done. So if I go to downloads and cat the file, you will see the name. You will see our cluster. So if I do export and then kubeconfig config equals to this and then kubectl get pods, you will see no pods in the default namespace. If I do -a, as you can see, stuff is already creating. If I do kubectl get nodes, you'll see all the nodes that I have. Going back to the UI, let me close this. As you can see, my CPU is very loaded. So if I go, for example, to workloads, and then if I go to, let's say, pods, you'll see I have no pods here. I can create a pod. Let's create a pod underneath in the default namespace. Let's call it nginx container. And let's give the image nginx latest. Let's hit a create. I don't need to modify all that in the container. So now nginx is running. If I go here, kubectl get pods, you'll see that I have nginx running in 23 seconds. So there you have it, guys. This is how to create Kubernetes cluster with Rancher, of course, on top of Proxmox. If you care about the Ansible, I'll do another video for that as well. Thank you. Bye-bye.